I'm here with my every friend in the world at the 2024 Duct Tape Drags.
Clearly all the money went to engine and not suspension.
The Duct Tape Drags is the greatest gearhead party for people who understand that cars do not need to be perfect to be fun, and we're going to show you a bunch of those cars in the video. We're also going to have a drive from Irwindale, California, all the way to Tucson for the event. We're going to have the Vice Grip Garage Burnout Pit and the Battle of the Beaters for low buck drag cars. It's going to be an absolute riot. Before we get started, I wanted to remind you that you can get a chance to win my personal '68 Camaro project vehicle. If you're watching this between October 25th and December 9th, 2024, check out my website. All of the rules are there. It is shop.davidfreiburger.com. The link is in the description. I'm going to put another one right here. Now let's get into the action at the Duct Tape Drags, where we're going to kick it off at the gathering that is the beginning of the road trip from Irwindale to Tucson. You can't get more duct tape drags than that. We're at Irwindale Speedway in Irwindale, Southern California, and this is where we gather up all the cars who want to go with me on a cruise all the way to Tucson Dragway. So we're going to hit the road, and I've got some stuff to show you along the way. What'd I get?
Sticker. Thank you.
Is it a Chevelle?
It is.
Yep, 67. Oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I have seen so many pictures of that car. I love it. It's so cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Definitely,
You use it just mostly autocross and adventures?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah?
Cross adventure, yeah. Daily driver and do a little drag racing with it. Sort of a dual sport kind of thing.
Yeah, it's great. How did you fit that meat in the front?
Stretch the fenders.
Yeah?
And stretch the quarters too. Definitely.
Huh. And what motor's in it?
Yeah. It's a 468 big block,
Okay.
4-speed gear vendors, 12 bolt.
I love it.
I had a hatch,
Yeah?
but it was I sold the rusted out hatch for a guy that had a glass that wanted the glass in it,
Yeah.
and I have a fiberglass hatch, but it wasn't ready yet.
So you fixed it with duct
I
tape.
fixed it with duct tape.
That's crazy. How long did that take you?
About 2 or 3 days. And
2 or 3 days?
6 rolls of duct tape.
It's like the world's largest ball of yarn or something like that. You just kept wrapping duct tape.
Yeah, I'm Austin Gardner. It's a 1973 Chevy Nova hatchback, which is kind of cool. 350 Chevy, 700 R4 overdrive transmission in it. Being able to drive your project is it really helps out with keeping the motivation to keep it going, and getting it running in the shortest amount of time and the cheapest amount of time is probably pretty good.
So I have my 1981 Datsun 280ZX decorated with 3 of my favorite replica models that I have made. I made all 3 of these in 2017, 2018. The Rotson and the General Mayhem took me about, I think, a couple of months, but Stubby Bob took me almost a year. Just out of details alone, Stubby Bob is probably the most detailed replica I've ever made. I would say it's worth it, because I was explaining to another gentleman that I was scrubbing through hours and hours of footage of Stubby Bob just so I can get every little detail right. That took a long time too. So this is my 81 280ZX. It's not a cool American hot rod like the rest of the guys have brought here, but it's my little Z car. It was owned by a college professor who never drove it, and then when the clutch went bad, he sold it to his mechanic, and I started working for that mechanic. And actually, just last week, I had finished rebuilding the transmission in this thing, and I didn't road test it, So this 500-mile trip to Arizona will be my road test, but I'll still have fun. I'll still find a way to break something.
We saved the whole year and took this out here. It's a 1973 Chevy K10 four-wheel drive. It has a 383 crate motor with a Demon carb. I got it when I was 15. I've been building it since. The engine I've had tore down, rebuilt it all myself, me and my dad. I had the front end out of it, rear end out of it. The whole interior was gutted. It was all rusted out. It's painted blue, unfortunately. Some teenager before me who owned it painted over the burnt orange, but once I become a millionaire, then I will paint it. I got mismatched battery cables. I have a red wire going to the ground because it broke when I was out driving and the battery fell into the fan. I'm not gonna go fancify it up. I just hooked it up when I went home. And mostly it's junkyard parts. The only fancy thing in it is AC, and it took me a year to buy that. It runs fine. It doesn't look pretty, but it'll get you anywhere.
It's a 72 Chevy Blazer, small block 400 with a Fi-Tech EFI. Belonged to my grandpa. I've always wanted the Blazer, and finally he handed it over. Just been sitting for probably 20 years, just not moving. So we got it running and came out here.
All right, we're off. Let's go. I'll see you in Blythe. Last year I took a bunch of flack for driving my 2023 Challenger, as I'm doing here again, but I'm gonna give the same excuse that I gave last year, which is I have to make it to Tucson for the event. I can't not be there, and so I can't drive my old garbage that breaks down right and left that, while fun, ends up putting me there late, and so that's why I'm cheating. The blue 67 Chevelle that I just passed, I was talking to the guy in the parking lot. He's been doing this ever since the original CarCraft Anti-Tour. He had pictures of him way back in 2003 on that CarCraft event that I had started, which was another road trip cruise.
It's Mason, or crew guy Mason, or Mason Bromberg, whatever you want to call me. And I'm bringing out the 70 Challenger, known as the ORC, or the Off-Road Challenger. And unfortunately, that is not what I'm currently in. I am towing it out there because Dulcich decided that he was going to jump it one too many times, and the hub that actually holds like the wheel bearings and everything cracked, and it wallowed the bearing, and the wheel's going to fall off essentially. So hopefully someone's bringing the part out to Tucson Dragway for me, but that means I have to tow it out there, unfortunately. So I'm driving the support vehicle. We're going to make it out. We're going to go down the drag strip. It's going to be great. And yeah, I'm super excited, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm glad people come to this with all kinds of different vehicles. This truck next to me right now is a K10 4x4. It's a 73 or a 74. I like it, 4x4 guys just showing up at a drag strip to have fun. It's pretty great.
I'm Alex Skola. We got Charlie Stevens in the car. Decided to hop in and ride with me for a bit. Woo! If you don't know this car, this is the Roadkill Garage Crew Crab Chevelle. It's a 1966 Chevelle Malibu. I LS swapped it with a 6.2 liter LS3, backed by a Gearstar 4L80E. Just a 10 bolt with a lunchbox locker in the back. Floor shift. I had a crank sensor fail yesterday. Was dead in the water, but we fixed it. We're back on the road and things are running well. So we're gonna.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, it sounds very nice.
So we're just gonna knock out this drive, this no problem 8-hour drive to Tucson real quick, and
Bada bing, bada boom, we'll be
Bada
there.
boom.
Yeah. No problems. Yeah.
I made it. This is Scirocco Summit in California. Long time ago, it was called Shaver Summit, but they changed it to Scirocco. It's the name of the family that started the gas station down the street. But the big deal is the George Patton Memorial Museum. Why would there be a General Patton Museum in the middle of nowhere? In 1942, this was called the Desert Training Center. For World War II, Patton ran the whole thing. It was 18,000 square miles. It went almost to Mexico, down to Yuma, went all the way up to the Nevada border, went clear past Palm Springs, and it went almost all the way to Phoenix. It was that big. They had guys out here training in tanks and on ground combat to fight the Germans in North Africa in World War II. Now that only happened in 42. After that, Patton had to actually go fight the war. I think they shut this down towards the end of 43, maybe early 44. But if you really explore the desert out here, you can still find rows of rocks that marked the streets at the various camps that they had out here. There is one church hunk, like an altar that is made of stone that's just standing out in the middle of the desert. And Rick Payway and I one time went jeeping out here, and there is a still active airport. There is also an abandoned airport where I found remnants of old runway lights and things like that. So this is a very cool place. If you're ever here, you should visit the museum. It's great. Plus they have tanks. Meanwhile, I'm going to the Chevron.
How's the truck running?
Pretty fine. It's running a little bit fat, but it should make it. It's at about 220 degrees, so I'm gonna be here for a hot minute.
That's hot. You made it! Yes, sir. You did too.
Oh, how's it going up the hill?
It was smoking, but
it was the PCV valve leaking onto the exhaust.
It was well over 230.
Oh,
but
man.
I think I developed pretty bad exhaust leak too. But other than that, it made it. It's hot. It is hot. But we're having fun. We're having fun. Just a little overheated, but nothing some lunch will fix.
So far, so good. Had to do an alternator in the parking lot of McDonald's in Banning. Kind of had to cannibalize two alternators. Got a half black one and a half silver one in there, but so far so good. Nice 200 miles for us so far. So it should be a good time. Can't wait to get there.
Just windows down, 70 miles per hour. It's like 100 degrees. Feels good, relaxing. Just a cool, steady 70. And had some barbecue. It was good. And that was about it. Yeah. It's a 72 C20 converted into a C10. Swapped with the LM7 5.3. Just made my own wiring harness, depinned the computer, Ford Ranger fuse box, and has a cam in it, 228, 230 duration, 585 lift, and 112 lobe separation, and that's about it. I mean, I just did all the sheet metal work, motor mounts, and all the framework, and you know, pan hard bar, made it a 3-link, and that was about it. This is my first time going to anything, you know, Freiburger related, roadkill related, so I'm pretty hyped. If it's driving good enough where it's road worthy, you're fine. Like you don't gotta worry about nothing. As long as you know it's gonna make it the distance, or you have the tools and the parts, and you know you're gonna make it to your destination, who cares? Just have fun.
It has been pretty good, apart from the heat. Honestly, like, it may not translate on camera, but Mason was saying in the Range Rover it was like 107 degrees out, 106. But car's running good. It's running about 200, which is normal for my setup. Man, I'm having fun. It's been a good trip. We're here in Blythe, California now, and was about halfway, so I'm gonna be hitting the road here shortly after lunch.
It's been a great drive. I've got this perfect little airstream that slips behind my seat and out the back window, and my sweat drips down my back right in the right spot. So it's kind of like those AC seats in like a fancy car like Mason's driving over there with the massage chairs in it. We're in the satellite and we're making our way. It's a little hot out, but we're gonna do it. I wasn't gonna mention this, but earlier I was driving and my steering was like getting like more and more sloppy, but I just got the car aligned yesterday and I was like, you know, what the heck's going on here? I wonder, maybe this is just how the car drives now. But then it started getting worse. I pulled over and looked, and my whole entire steering box was loose and sliding around. So got that bolted back in place, and ever since then, things have been smooth.
And we did it! Tucson Dragway in Pima County, Arizona.
Hey, welcome to Duct Tape Drags 2024 here in Tucson, Arizona. This is my 1940 Chevrolet Coupe Deluxe. Well, actually, it's a special deluxe. We'll just call it a deluxe. Actually, Freiburger helped me throw this car together in California on an episode of Roadworthy Rescues, and it is like 70s glory. You actually have to have a house electrician certificate to work on this thing. The wiring is out of control. There might be 480 volt in there. I don't even know for sure, actually. But it's got a 454 big block that's warmed over out of a truck, runs on 7, has like 109 horsepower. It's got a really cool transmission behind it. I don't know what it is. It slips, leaks a lot. And the rear end's like an Oldsmobile, I think. And it's got like rebar bent and welded into place and things like that. But none of that matters because it's got Kragers on it. It's clearly not in good shape or great shape by any stretch of the means, but this is what it's all about, man. It's just taking a project or any car that you want and just making the thing run, get it on the road, drive it, enjoy it, and fix it up a little bit at a time so you can use the thing. If you blow it all apart and stick it in your garage, you're gonna lose that passion, you're gonna lose that want to work on the thing, and eventually you're just gonna get tired of it. So this is what I like to do, is just get these old rigs running on the road, in this case on the track, and we're gonna have a lot of fun doing it. Right now I'm going to the staging lanes, and we're gonna go drag race this thing. I'm gonna have a mullet ripping like 15 maybe like a 14 and a half. It's probably not gonna be enough to win the Battle of Meters tomorrow, but we'll find out.
Man, it's already a great evening here at Tucson. The smell of clutch is in the air. Some of the people who are on the cruise with us from LA are still rolling in the front gate. My Challenger made it no problem. And we got test and tune happening. The reason I'm hanging out is that Derek is going to bring up the 40 Chevy that he and I built on an episode of Roadworthy Rescues on Motor Trend. So the car's way cool. It's like a 70s type Van Nuys Boulevard street machine, street racer. Thing is, it's actually kind of junk, so we'll see how slow it is out here. I raced him with my 56 Chevy and won. The other thing we're gonna see come up is my F-Rod. You know, I quipped earlier that Derek and I built this car on Roadworthy Rescues. We actually kind of just cobbled it to run. We cannot be held responsible for the build quality on the vehicle. I'm guessing 1480. Let's see what happens. Nailed it! 1465 at 93 miles an hour.
My calf muscle is literally smoked. I had this thing just through the firewall. 230 60 foot and 1465 at 93 miles an hour. That's right on par where I thought we would be. So that's fun. Fun little car. It's a good little street car, cruiser, whatever. If I had gear in it, we'd definitely have more, but 14.6. Now that we know what we run for tomorrow in the Battle of the Beaters.
Look at the crowd packed in the grandstands watching a test and tune of a really slow, junky cars. That's what makes this event great. But you know what? I'm gonna try and show them something a little better. My F-Rod just fired up. My buddy Sam Strube, who built the chassis, is driving it, as he often does. So this car is a 30 or 31 Ford Model A. It's on a 32 chassis. It's got ladder bars. It's a 572 big block Chevy, naturally aspirated. It has a Gearstar Power Glide in it, 411s in the back, and its best time ever is 8.501, and it has run 155 miles an hour. But that's at sea level. We've always made the statement this thing needs to run 8s anywhere. It's a hot evening here tonight. It ran 890s last year. In fact, this is like deja vu. This is exactly what we did in last year's video. But you'll enjoy it. Wait for it. Clearly not Sam's valve springs. That's what that was all about. He's putting on a show. So this 572 is the same engine that took me to my fastest mile an hour ever at Bonneville. I went 261 miles an hour in a Camaro with this engine with a single 4-barrel and a shot of nitrous. I think it was a 180 shot. And since then, we ran it on the Engine Masters show. I've rebuilt it a couple times. This version was assembled by James Bostic in Yuma, Arizona. It made 950 horsepower. Lifted. I wonder why. That's disturbing. He got out of it. The Corvair and the Super Sammy. It's back. So this is a tin top Samurai that Steve Dulcich and I threw together in a junkyard in Arizona for an episode of Roadkill. We put a 440 big block Chrysler in this thing, and Motor Trend sold it. This guy bought it. He was here last year, and it had a 400 big block in it. I don't know what he has in it now. He's advertising his YouTube channel, TC Finds. Man, the Sammy is just so good. I legitimately want a tin top Sammy after building this pile. Go, Super Sammy! Oh, it runs great. Wow. What a turd. 1734 at 81 miles an hour. It's just like we built it. So the vet cart's an actual good idea. You take a Corvette, you remove the whole body, you've got a frame left, IRS, it's light, it's fast, and that one goes 1402 at 96 miles an hour. I've had some people comment on this before. If you see any racers not wearing a helmet, it's actually legal to go 14s and slower with no helmet at an NHRA track. So that's why. It's also legal to have a passenger if you're in the 14s and slower, as long as everybody's belted in. They call these things swepties, swept lines, but did you know the step side is actually a utiline, like utility, different name. Okay, that truck is so slow and so wheel hoppy and so fantastic. Ooh, Stubby Van sounds pretty good. I'm thinking they hopped up Stubby Van. Look at that thing. I want to take it home and cuddle with it. Go, Stubby Van. How quick is the A100? It's having an aerodynamic problem right now. It went 1480 at 90 miles an hour. This guy always wins Battle of the Beaters. The wagon is back. That has a cross ram in it. It's cool. Nice swept line. This thing's great. That's clean. Love it. Look at the dwarf car. Boom. Hey. Good. 64 olds guy. How's it going? Ooh, look at the V8 Pinto. There's lots of good stuff here. Look at the Dart wagon. Hey, it's my car. My former car. Wow. So this is the car that Finnegan and I dug out of Payway's backyard, Rick Payway. His mom bought it, not new, but when it was just a few years old, and the transmission went out, and it sat in her backyard forever. And before my Roadkill TV show was ever a thing, we rescued this car out of the yard and drove it home. Since then, I sold it to Holly, they gave it away. A guy bought it from the guy who gave it away. Another guy here in Arizona had it. Recently, the guy contacted me, or I saw it on Marketplace. He contacts me and says, I'll sell it to you for 13 grand. I was like, yeah, but no. And so now it belongs to somebody else. I guess we'll meet that guy later on this weekend. Is it yours? You just got it.
Just got it.
The guy offered it to me, I said no.
Yeah, he told me about it.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I was going to ask you one question. Why is the glove box signed upside down?
They took it off and brought it to
us.
us.
I figured that's what
yeah.
I couldn't see you laying in there upside down.
That's funny.
Well, cool. Yeah, it's going to be in the Hoopty Challenge. I was planning on saying anything that you judge on it, I didn't build it.
I know what you paid for it, though.
Oh, I know. No one in the stands does.
Yeah.
They got Facebook.
Yeah, this was a really, really fun car.
I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to because I just didn't know what else I could possibly do with it.
I was in high school watching the Hot Rod Unlimited episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Car. I was like,
when we did the suspension and everything.
Yeah, I watched the autocross and everything in high school. I was like,
yeah.
It came up. This is the car that got me into all this.
How cool.
And I own it, so I'm super stoked, man. Super stoked.
I am sad, but I'm stoked for you.
Well, just like you said in that last episode of Payway, I'm going to leave it just like this.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I could only leave it alone,
it's so
and
nice.
I don't have storage, and I can't leave cars stock, so that's why I didn't get it back.
I'm glad that I got it in the way that it is. I'm stoked.
Very
needs
cool.
New tires, though. They're the ones you put on it. And
Yeah,
cracked.
they're old.
I'm surprised at Fast Tech, but it's going to make a couple passes and go back.
Cool.
Well, I'll let you get back to your video, man.
Thanks
It's
for
nice
bringing
to
it
meet
out.
you.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for the story.
Oh, yeah.
That's neat. Well, that's cool. We got to talk to the guy who bought my old Buick. It does make me sad. That car was just such a feel-good car, you know, but you can't keep them all. Hey, Jim, you made it.
Did you make it in your nice cushy ride?
Oh, it was great. Did you make it in? Did you leave the top down? I'll give you credit if you did.
Wife, I put the top up, I was down.
Yeah.
It was too much. The car didn't overheat though.
This is a 62. He drove his 62 Corvette, pretty much bone stock, from LA to here on our cruise, but he wimped out to put the top up.
South Carolina to go on drag week
Yeah.
last year. It was nothing.
Exactly. He's been everywhere. Ooh, the Corvair. Do you notice there's an engine in the trunk?
Yeah, that's for ballast. That's where we keep it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I really like the second generation Corvair. They're so much like a Camaro, but almost kind of better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're different. They're unique, like for sure. And they're slow.
Do you see what I mean? The dash really looks like a 67 or 8 Camaro.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, even these rear body lines, this rear
Yeah.
wheel hump. Yeah.
You can tell they came out of the same brain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
We've already got the high octane fuel.
Yeah.
We're lower than where we're from, so it's already faster.
Okay. What did it run?
Well, it ran 20s back home, and here it's running, what is it, 16.5, 16.4?
16.48.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No, that's we're trying to get into the 15s. That's the only goal.
Fast is always a matter of perspective. I always tell people I can get just as excited making a 16-second car into a 15-second car as a 9-second car into an 8-second car. It's just,
That's our plan.
I don't know why. It
Well,
just works that way.
One run is the only run I've ever done on a drag strip.
Oh, yeah?
The only
we get
run
up
on
to
this
the line, and I'm like, I need a water, and Rudy's like, oh, there's water in the trunk. Cooler full of ice and water in the trunk.
Yeah.
It's cool. All right, thank you guys for coming. You made it. So great.
Yes.
What a good story.
Oh yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks.
You drove all the way, yeah?
How's it going?
Yeah? It bogs real bad.
Yes.
Yeah, now I see why.
Yeah.
Huh. So how was the trip?
Long, 37 hours.
37. Just cannonball, one sitting? Oh, dude. So, good story. Finnegan and I gave this guy this car on an episode of Roadkill. We ostensibly were trading cars, and you were going to trade us your Maverick, right?
Yep.
But then we traded the Maverick. We didn't want the Maverick. We gave him both cars. He subsequently has pieced it together with different body panels, put a 440 and a 4-speed in it, and now driven it all the way from Detroit area, where?
Highland, Michigan.
Highland, Michigan, all the way out here to Tucson for Duct Tape Drags. It's a radical story. I love it.
Hoping to run 15s.
15s? Oh, you can easily do that because you just ran 17.7. You gave up 4 seconds of bog.
And then it blew smoke.
Yeah.
It's a tired motor. I bought this motor for $300.
Yeah? And just spray canned it and threw it in?
These are 516 heads I bought at Swat Lead for $100.
Cool.
Milled,
Yeah.
so they're closed chambered.
Keeping it cheap.
Yeah.
Did you keep the Maverick? Gone?
Long sold.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but I blew up that 318 within 3 months.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Threw a rod right out of it.
Yeah.
That oil pressure gauge that said 0, yeah, there was no oil.
It was for real.
And then I put 4 more 318s in it. And then I
This is
decided,
way better.
Yeah.
That's as you should.
And then I got tired of the automatic because it just kept leaking.
Yeah, well, 4-speed's much more fun. Man, great story. I'm glad you guys pulled it off.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool that you made it.
Now we got to make it home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not my concern, though. I'm just glad you're here. I don't care if you make it home or not.
We'll figure out a way.
All right, I'll be watching.
What's happening? How are you, man? Glad you guys made it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Car looks great. Thank you.
So they ran the Bandit Trans Am versus the General Lee Charger in the Bandit 1. And look at this. Who brings out their rail? What does it run?
Yeah, I ran like a 15 and like 93 or something like that.
Does it do wheelies?
Oh yeah, a little bit. We'll get it up there. We'll get a couple runs under it.
So cool.
Yeah, thank you.
This is why I love this event. Where do you see that? And look at this. He's drag racing it. So good.
I finally made it. It took us 14 hours to get here, but we made it. no huge problems. Wiley had some issues with his wheel vibrating, and then just lots and lots of gas stops because we do not drive very fuel-efficient vehicles. But miles per mile, not miles per gallon. There you go.
We made it. The car is running. The only thing I lost is brake lights and tail lights. It got dark, put on the lights, and blew a fuse. We're messing with a bird's nest of wiring that I have in the back here. Two super cool dudes here. They came over to help me try to figure out this disaster of wiring that I have in the trunk here. And we're just troubleshooting and trying to figure that out. But I'm super stoked. The car made it under its own power for the second year in a row. I mean, to me, brake lights is not really much of an issue because the car runs. We're gonna do some racing tomorrow, so we'll see you tomorrow.
Charlie, my man.
Glad to be here. Glad to freaking be here.
Yep.
It's a long day, but it's worth it.
Thanks for coming. All right, it's the end of the day, having beers around the campfire. Everything's good. It's becoming a party. Sam ran my car apparently twice, and I only saw it once, and it was a fail. The second time it went 899 at 149, which is on par for this altitude. Tomorrow, it's on. We've got the Vice Grip Garage Burnout Pit, more friends, and even more racing. It's day two, the calm before the storm. We've already got a giant crowd outside, and we're going to kick it off with the autograph session with all my friends. We got Derek, we got Steve Brulé, if you can believe it or not. We got Dulcich, we have Bogi, we have Lucky. Tony's probably on his way in. Are you guys ready for me to kick the door open and make it happen? Let's go.
What's up? I'm Tony Angelo from Stay Tuned channel. I'm out here with a 79 Nova that I just picked up a couple days ago. I bought it, it's carved LS swap, was running on 4 cylinders. I bought it for $3,300, trying to keep it in the $5,000, you know, cap on the cars. And this thing actually has a ton of hardware on it. We're able to get it running on 8. We drove it out here from CAMARO, 600 miles or so in the scorching heat. It made it here, and we just made our first pass. Ran 1480 at 95 miles an hour. We're gonna try to keep going quicker, but yeah, it's my first time at Duct Tape. I've only heard how much fun it is and made me really want to come out here. Obviously, I'm outside of Philadelphia, so it's a haul, but we flew in with a duffel bag full of t-shirts and a couple $1,000, bought this sucker, and the rest is history. This thing is so cool, and there's like bonfires, good food, tons of people, like just, you know, ratty, awesome cars. It's right up my alley. Don't get it right, just getting running, absolutely. It's so weird because I've been preaching that forever to kids. The thing that drift kids do is they go to one event and they try to make their car insane and take it off the road forever, and they never get back in the seat. And I'm always like, just keep it running, just have fun. So that's how I feel. The old car is like, it doesn't need to be the best thing ever, just get it moving down the road and enjoy it.
What's up, guys? I'm Bogi from All Girls Garage, and I'm hanging out here at the Duct Tape Drags with my shop, Girl Gang Garage, and one of our girls' project cars, which is a 1978 280Z. It belongs to one of the women who is really active in Girl Gang Garage. It's actually been in her family since it was brand new, but it's been sitting for a long time, and over the last several years, she's been learning how to work on cars through this project car. That's how she came to Girl Gang Garage, to learn more about cars. The owner of this car is actually a scientist by day and a car DIYer by night. So it's a slow project, but that's what Girl Gang Garage is all about. It's my shop here in Phoenix where we teach women how to work on cars and bring women in the trades together. So this is like a perfect example of what we do and why we do it. The whole purpose of Girl Gang Garage is really to get more women interested in working on cars and make it more accessible. So no matter what your skill level is, you're welcome to come and play on cars. We encourage women to take on their own projects and learn as they go. I mean, it's the best way to learn. You get an older vehicle that needs a lot of love and you figure it out as you go, and that's what it's all about. So far, this has been absolutely an amazing event. I have to say, I wish we could have turned the temperature down a little bit, but other than that, everybody has a great attitude. There's great energy. It's just super chill, ton of fun. I can't complain.
My name's Patrick Long. This is my 1967 Cougar. It's a 302 T5, 9-inch, 4-wheel disc brakes. It's my daily driver with a Holly Sniper. My second time here. This is my first time dragging at an event. I was hoping to break in under, 15s, but I don't have enough tire for that. Oh, I just like all the cool stuff that you see here, man. They bring all kinds of cars, all kinds of types, all kinds of speed. So it's a really cool place to be. You can't fix everything, but you can make the car go, and that's the whole point, is to get in the car and go somewhere.
I drove my truck all the way out from San Diego. It was over 110, but it was hot, but we enjoyed it. Even with no AC, windows down, earplugs, and you just suck it up and do it. It's a good time still. You have a 71 C10 with a 454, 6-speed automatic with 373 rear end, about 425 to the wheels, and just built it up over about a 2 to 3 year period during COVID. I would like to be able to hit high 13s, but I just can't get traction down those first couple 100 feet. So I'm hitting 100, but at like 15 and a half. Would like to be able to get faster than that, but probably not today in the heat and the elevation. It's just great to be back here again. Now I'm on my own vehicle. I was building it at the time, so it's just great to be out here and see everybody, meet people, and just talking about what they've done to their cars, what I can learn from them. There's just so many people with a massive amount of knowledge. Get it out there and enjoy it, and then just start making incremental improvements to it over time so that you can enjoy it during that time and you don't lose focus or you don't lose that gumption to get out there and just do something with it. And that's the big thing for me.
My car's a 1965 Pontiac Tempest. It's got a 1967 Pontiac GTO 400 in it. It's a Holly Sniper EFI all the way through and through. Street car. Nothing special, nothing crazy, but it's my baby. When I bought the car 8 years ago, it was a pile. The entire rear end of the car was rusted out. It barely ran. It had no lights. I drove it about 2.5 hours whenever it was dark outside, and it had no lights on. So it was a really interesting experience when I first bought it. I mean, we're raised poor, We don't have a lot of money, so we gotta get the car running, get it, have fun with it. That's the most important part about it. I drove this daily for the entire time I've owned it, and it has to be reliable and it has to be running.
It's a 1962 Gasser Nova. I bought it from a tweaker up in Cordes Junction, and I put a 383 in it. Yeah, I bought it as a shell, and here's what it does today. My second year here with it. Get it running, don't make it right. Go have fun. This just thing is fun. Even though it's not that fast. Yet. Next year. Or maybe today. I don't know.
An 86 Corvette C4. Picked it up from behind somebody's house and it was pretty beat up, so we just stripped all the fiberglass off it and threw a 350 small block in it. And the engine itself has almost 300,000 miles on it, so it's doing pretty well. I think the biggest thing is just use your hands, use your brain, and just put what you have out there and just see what happens and break it and then figure it out and do it all over again. Well, we've defied a lot of odds today. We've got down to, my best pass was 13.999, so we'll hopefully get to 13.5 and call her good.
This is my 4th year. Yeah, I've been here since the beginning. It's a 71 Chevelle. Last year it was sitting in the weeds, didn't have quarter panels, floorboard, trunk, nothing. And in the last 8 months, threw it all together. There's a lot of things on this car that aren't done right or done well, but it drove 1,000 miles and it's here.
It was a daily driver for a long time in Illinois. That's where the car came from, so. It's all bone stock. Just do your best and do whatever you gotta do to get it on the road, you know?
This is my hometown track. Long-time listener, first-time caller. This is my first time running this truck or anything on the strip, so I'm having a good time. Running slower than we're expecting because it's hot out here, but the track's nice and sticky and the boys are doing a good job keeping it clean and keeping us all safe. This truck is an old work truck from a guy who lived in Corona de Tucson. Supposedly it's got 5 engine rebuilds, 600,000 miles, etc., yada yada. 402 big block, low compression, nothing special, RV cam, long tube headers. Just having a good time. I mean, ever since the very first episode of Roadkill I saw, which was the General Mayhem, the very first, when I worked at Pep Boys as a commercial sales guy, and ever since then it's been nothing but how fast can I make this car go, you know? So that's what brought me out here. Obviously this thing's seen better days as far as the exterior goes and that, but at the end of the day, what's important is that it's on the street and it's driving and people are smiling and I'm smiling, and you know, you don't have to have good paint for that. You don't have to have the strongest motor, the fastest car. You can come out here, run an 18-second pass, all smiles all day long, and you don't need to put a bunch of money into it. And I love that. I love that philosophy. I think there was a lot of years where you wouldn't see a car unless it was perfect. And it's great to see these out here, you know, things out of the barns, things in the yards that would otherwise have sat, now are out here making people smile. Just seeing all the cars get rowdy, and probably the Burnout pit. I'm definitely gonna hit the Burnout pit before I try to race this. Hopefully I don't blow it up. Hopefully I burn up some tires and have a good time.
It's just a little small block 302. It's a Ford and a Ford, and all motor, no nitrous on her. If I would have had this car here last year, second year here with this car, I've only been driving the car for a year. I've only been drag racing for a year, so I'm having a blast. And as you see, we're part of the Brotherhood of Street Racers that's been around since 1965. My husband's drag raced for 20 years. He finally decided it was my turn. So we bought this car, and I'm having a blast of learning to drag race, and it's a natural adrenaline rush, plain and simple.
It's a 1984 AM General DJ5, stock Dana 30, stock gears and axles. Tires and rims are off a Ford Ranger, and then the motor is a 440 Mopar out of a motorhome with a 727 torque flight transmission. A month ago we built it, but it only took us 2 days to build it. I didn't like the mail Jeep at first. Now it's my favorite rig to drive. And I just did my best pass, 13.6 at 96 miles per hour. I was hoping for a 14.7, and I got a 13.6, so my duct tape drags I completed. I'm happy. I will do Burnout Challenge, and I'm hoping to blow at least 2 sets of tires before the motor goes. So.
Hi, my name is Jim Forbes. I got a 62 Chevy Corvette. I bought it as a pile of parts last year, put it together in about a month and a half, and since then I've put 18,000 miles on it, doing all kinds of fun things. Drag week, hot rod, power tour west, did a Lemons rally in it, drove out to the start of the Duct Tape Drags, drove past the drag strip to Irwindale, then back to the drag strip in 110-degree heat. So it's a fun car, I do a lot. Made 4 runs with it this weekend so far. Ran a best of 1540. It's nice and slow because it's got the old stock 327 in it and a 4-speed.
So this was actually kind of a last minute buy. We got it this year, back about 3 months ago. We've been crunching on it since the beginning of the month, trying last minute. Engine was locked up, ended up getting it unlocked and just did an oil change on it. We're getting ready to top off the fluids and actually run it for the very first time. So should be an awesome time. So later on tonight, we plan on entering this bad boy into the battle of the beaters. Hopefully nothing, catastrophic happens. It'll be the first time it's ever seen the track time with me, so it'll be a blast.
This car is a 1973 Plymouth Satellite. It sat for probably 29 years before I got a hold of it. And it was a Kentucky car, but we're out of Texas, so the rust says Kentucky. After the first test drive, started having ticky tick and the cam went flat. So we put another used 318 in it and it runs a little better. It's actually pretty reliable. I drove it from the hotel to here. That was the furthest I'd driven it and it drives awesome. So far I'm pretty happy with the car. This car I'm really excited about doing in the Battle of the Beaters because it is, I feel, the prime example of a $5,000 beater. I think I have maybe $3 grand in it, but in actuality, I think it would sell for $2 grand all day.
All right, so I have here a 1982 Ford Mustang GT. It was a red GT, basically, nothing too special, but I've done some performance mods to it. It's got SVA coilovers, tubular control arms with poly bushings, HEI ignition, a Holley 600 Street Warrior. So the engine is nothing too special, it's just a basic 302, but it does have factory forged pistons as well as our Ford Performance B303 camshaft, backed by the original 4-speed manual transmission. The people that I've met here have been absolutely amazing. Freiburger, I met him earlier. He was an awesome dude to talk to. Just everyone here and all the cars that I can see, just absolutely great. Just the meet and greets and just being able to talk to people, just being able to make connections and talk to people in the field that, you may not meet otherwise.
Obviously, this is the car off season 10, episode 11. This is the one where they traded down, gave back. I was trading my Maverick for it. Since then, it's been through quite a few iterations, that's for sure. So it's a 440 cubic inch out of a motor home. The heads are out of a basically guy's trunk. And the intake I got off another motor home. So I'm looking forward to the judging and the bogus and beaters class. I'm looking forward to that. I'd love to see what the guys think about this thing, especially after they haven't seen it in several years. I mean, I'm so glad I made a 2,000-mile trip here. I've had a blast the entire time. I made some good passes today and hoping to run even faster. It doesn't matter. You don't have to spend the most amount of money in the world. You just got to get it together and get it down the road. Enjoy it while you're doing it. Obviously, first time drag racing, I've had an absolute blast. I mean, I've a little bit of excitement through my veins, but it's been a little bit of a struggle, especially on my launch, but getting down the track, just laid down a good number today, but I lifted before the end of the track, so got to get used to that. I do live near a track. This definitely opened my eyes more because this car is a little bit out of the ordinary where I'm from. So it fits in a lot well here, and I think it definitely opens up a lot of opportunities for people.
And now we're going to let it rip with the Vice Grip Garage Burnout Contest!
Okay, so right now Derek's out there burning off some tires. He's got the tires that do the smoke colors, so it's like red and blue. So it's red, white, and blue. I don't think it gets much cooler than that.
Both the tires blew out. He was spinning the rims inside the tires. That is how to kick this thing off.
I've got my Chevelle here. It has nice Mickey Thompson tires on the back. Unfortunately, those Mickey Thompson tires have those pesky treads on them.
Welcome to the Duct Tape Drags, the Vice Grip Garage Burnout. You guys having fun? All right.
All right, next up is going to be Lucky Costa in his Chevelle. Lucky, of course, from the Hot Rod Garage Show on Motor Trend.
Great job from Lucky. Wow, nice show.
So all good stories start out like this. So what had happened was, the theory was I had this Mickey Thompsons on here that were relatively good tire, great compound, good for autocrossing. However, I am at a drag strip. I didn't have any slicks to put on the car, so I figure, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and go in the Burnout pit, Derek Bierry's little Burnout spot over there, and take some of these pesky treads off these Mickey Thompsons. One side buzzed down perfectly. It is the optimal drag racing performance slick. The other side, not so much. Check this out. Pro tip, third gear, full beans, that's not the formula.
All right, tell us about this Camaro. What year is this thing?
So this is my wife's car, actually. It's a 78 Camaro. It was an old stock car that we drug out of a field. It basically been outdated and retired. We turned the stock car into a four-wheel drive LS swap Camaro. We put the motor so high to fit the suspension, but now we can't fit a hood safely. So, you know, it's not right in any way, and we break it all the time, but we just keep building on it and using it and having fun with it along the way. So it's way better than letting it sit on jack stands for years.
What do you got?
84 LTD with a 5-liter turbocharged, 5-speed.
Let her rip!
I think backfiring in the fire is definitely extra credit.
Let's hear it for the wagon. He was thrashing that garbage, man. We got another wagon coming up. Will this one be better or worse? I got to admit, the wood side is attractive.
I mean, if anything, he gets it on style points, right? Plus, you got the Crown Vic front wheels on here. That's pretty good. And I don't know if that's original wood paneling. Could be the covered stickers, but either way, it is stylish.
So far, this looks like me with my dad's car when I was in high school.
There you go. Oh!
Oh! Oh, hate to see that.
Oh, it was so straight.
Oh! Oh, that is awful. Well,
oh, he did it.
He's in it, though.
It'll buff out, don't worry about it. All right, buddy, you kind of tapped the wall. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, some turtle wax, a couple hours in the garage. How do you feel right now? You haven't seen it yet.
I feel all right. We can find another one.
He says we can find another fender. That's my guy right there. Give it up for the wagon. Who thought he did awesome?
Front-wheel drive burnouts, rear-wheel drive burnouts, or four-wheel drive burnouts. He said he's going to try a little bit of all. How's that sound?
This is, oh, wow. He wasted no time. There's the front-wheel drive burnouts. How about that? Check that out. That's awesome. He's dragging the rear axle around.
Right on! That's cool.
You guys want him to do four-wheel drive? Yeah. There it is. For the Cyclone. There it is. All right, he ran out of time there, but what a showing. What'd you guys think about the Jeep? That was great. All right.
He's jumping the shark. Let's go.
The 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix. We use it for something called asphalt boat racing. We drag a fiberglass boat around a track, smash the boat. The object basically is to put on a good show, but the guy who has the most boat at the end of the race is the winner.
Last man standing.
Yeah, last man standing.
He is definitely trying to take a bite out of the wall.
Clearly all the money went to engine and not suspension. That thing's got some roll on it, huh? he's calling her. What a run. What do you guys think about the Exploder? That was pretty good. He says I'm out of here. It's probably hot. 1980 Ford Bronco. All right, buddy. You going four-wheel or just two? Four. He's going four-wheel, he said, all the way. All right. Second one today. Floor is yours, my man. Have fun. Oh, Violet right away. Oh, my God. Wow. These two, what else? What do you guys think about that? Oh, yeah. This guy's got a 200 shot of nitrous on his car in the burnout pit with a stick. Oh. Well, you know that nitrous will get you. I like the trailer hitch. It's great.
I missed that. Oh, yeah. This is like one of the dumbest, most entertaining things ever. I mean, you're coming out here and you ruin your car, you overheat it, you blow a tire off, you kill your quarter panel, you hit the wall. But then, these people love you. In my experience, the vet carts don't make a lot of smoke because there's not a lot of weight. That's the one-legger.
Lots of smoke right away. That's looking good. That's that short wheelbase. You get stuck in a corner. It's tough to drive them. That's not stock. The mud flaps are extra points immediately, I'll tell you that. He's got it on the floor, there's no question about that. He's getting all the RPM. All right, we got a Jeep Grand Cherokee, another 440 big block. This one has a YN tunnel ram. these tires would pop right away. They look like rubber bands. Wow. Nice, great showing from the F350. Guy put some thought into it. He's got some homemade suspension in the rear here. That's proof. He's got a nice rad in here. And obviously it's a manual. Does anything work in this gauges wise or anything?
Oh yeah, all the gauges work, except the gas gauge. But who needs that?
Yeah, you don't need a gas gauge. How many miles does this puppy have?
263.
Give me a horsepower estimate.
245.
245, wow, okay. This should be good then. All right, have fun, man. You're gonna need that wing out there. Okay, that's pretty darn good. Wow, he's got a handbrake in there. He's also got an angle kit on it, I can tell you that right now. So when you're thinking about your favorite contestant, don't just consider smoke or popping tires. You got to look at driving skill. Did they use all the pad? You know, for example, this forethought going into the build. Showmanship. Do they have mud flaps or a sparkly steering wheel? I don't know. Oh, a tire already. Wow. Look at that rubber flying. Watch out, heads up. All right, we got some rubber flying, heads up. He's got one left on the driver's side. There it goes. Wow, both tires off for the Acura, Lexus, Mercedes thing. What do you think? We add him on the list, the top so far? Yeah, resounding yeah. This guy is our champion from last year. He's back. All right, you got to refresh me on this thing. Obviously, you've got a beautiful blower on here. We got dual Hollies. I think you've got some shorty headers and custom exhaust, but what is the actual block in this?
It's a small block Chevrolet, 385 cubic inches. It's running on E85 this year, and the motor's built for boost now. I spent the whole off season wrenching on this thing, getting it ready for this moment. So if it dies, it's going to die right here.
Wow, give it up for that. That's awesome. I remember now, Chevy powered. What a show. I know it's not the way you want it to go, but how's things going out here?
Fantastic, fantastic. I'd like to quote Sling Blade if I could. Kill her.
Right. It's got a spirits about. It looks like an ATF leak, maybe a drive shaft or something.
I think the transmission's in about 10,000 pieces right now. There's aluminum everywhere, so if anything, I'm going to make a killing on recycling.
This is awesome. It's not every day you see a classic car that runs 10 seconds in a burnout pit. This is awesome. Very good run. Lots of smoke, good car control. Great job, man. really good. So I've done a lot of burnouts all over the country, and for the first time ever, I think, in my opinion, and I want to make sure you agree, the top 3 are 4-wheel drive vehicles. Wow, maybe this is the way burnouts are going. 4 tires is more smoke than 2, right? So I think personally, and you guys let me know, because again, you're judging, not me, but I think the 4-wheel drive 78 Camaro did an awesome job. You guys agree? Okay, all right, good. And then we had the 4-wheel drive Jeep with all the crazy suspension, that white Jeep. You guys agree? He did an awesome job. Yes, anytime you can spin big off-road tires like that, not only is it more difficult to drive, but it takes a good vehicle. I can't believe they didn't spit U-joints out of the thing or something like that. And then, of course, we got the red Bronco. That thing Yes, sir. So, I don't know where those drivers are or if they can even hear me, but if you're one of those vehicles, the lifted Camaro, the lifted YJ white Jeep, or the red Bronco, please be in the vicinity because you might get your name called. So here's what we're gonna do. I need you to cast your vote by screaming, yelling, banging on the bleachers, anything but throwing stuff at me because I'm too old to move fast. Who think the Camaro won it? Let me hear it. Okay. All right. Pretty good. All right. Okay. Are you sure? You want to do that again? Anybody miss it? The lifted 78 Camaro. Let's hear it one more time. Who would think he won? Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. I got to move closer to the machine. Let's go next to the lifted YJ. The white Jeep had all the limiting straps, the crazy suspension. He had the twin sticks. He did the front wheel drive burnout, the rear wheel drive burnout, the all wheel drive burnout. Who think the Jeep won the thing? They did really good too. Okay, that leaves us down to the red Bronco. Who think the Bronco won the Vice Grip Garage burnout pit? All right, that was wild. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. Gentlemen in the red Bronco, I don't know where you are. There he is right here. Come in here. Congratulations, buddy. You won her. What's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm Ryan from Ventura, California, and I built the Bronco just to have a little fun with and sort of started moving into this field. It's got a 460 base 521 big block, Ford, and C6, and tons, 1 tons, lockers. Converted to a 2-wheel drive partway through. I did drain an entire bottle of nitrous out there.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was a good time.
All right, he was on nitrous. Congratulations. Come over here, buddy. I'm gonna give you your trophy. You certainly earned this. You wheeled that thing like crazy out there. You had me on pins and needles a few times. Congratulations. There's your winner of the Vice Grip Garage Burnout Pit and the beautiful red Bronco. Coming up next, you got the Battle of the Beaters right over here. So if you guys want to file over, get in the bleachers, this is going to be a good time. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Battle of the Beaters is going to line up into staging lanes at 310, which is, let's call that right now. Line up over there, and we're going to do our judging. You'll see Dulcich and I criticizing everybody's cars in a hilarious way, and you will help us pick which cars are worth less than $5,000 for the head-to-head showdown in 3 different classes. I'll explain it all when we get out there. So line up in the bleachers there at the drag strip, and I'll see you there. All right, that was an awesome burnout contest. I have to say, I love the Bronco that won. I've never seen anything quite like that. It was amazing. And you've never seen anything quite like what's about to happen on the drag strip over here for Battle of the Beaters.
Steve Brulé, formerly from West Tech Performance Group and the television show Engine Masters. You know, when I lived in Southern California, I could never seem to get away from the shop long enough. And being an 8-hour drive, it was just inconvenient. But now, being retired and only 4 hours away, I was able to make it over and having a great time. Well, it's just a big party, and it's a whole bunch of fun. And David had invited me a little while back, and I was able to make it happen, fortunately. I'm just having the time of my life. It's very seldom I get to come out to events like this when I was working, but now that I'm retired, like I say, it's a lot of fun, and I'm going to make it to more.
This year, it's hotter this year for sure, and the track feels a little slick. I made a bunch of passes,
and I actually ran faster than I did last year. My best time was 13.4 with a 3 at 105 miles an hour. I was able to get my mile an hour up to 108, but I really wasn't able to, you know, I was just spinning my tires off the line. That 60 foot I really couldn't bring down, and that was just eating away my ET. But honestly, I couldn't be happier. I broke into the 13s. It's super hot. The engine was getting hot. My manifold air temperature was getting super hot. I tried airing down my tires. It didn't work. I don't have slicks. I really just couldn't hook up, but at the end of the day, I'm calling this a huge win. I made it here. It didn't break. I ran my fastest time ever at Tucson Dragway, and fingers crossed, I'm gonna make it home under its own power. Woo! 13.433 at 106 miles an hour. Heck yeah! Let's go. I was actually super stoked. I got to line up with Wiley for the first time ever. Wiley's helped me build this car more. I mean, a lot of people have helped me build this car, but Wiley has helped me build this car more than anyone else. And I've been wanting to race him for a really long time, and we finally got to line up together. Unfortunately, neither of us could really, you know, get a lot of traction. He was spinning tires on that 1-2 shift, and even on the 2-3 shift, he's got a stick and I've got an automatic, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. But I did technically beat him. So rematch, Wiley. Maybe at a cooler track next time.
I brought the 1970 Dodge Challenger from Roadkill Garage and Roadkill called the Off-Road Challenger. It is on 32s and it is not meant for drag racing whatsoever. It's super slow, super sketchy, and should never ever go on a drag strip ever again. But we did it, and we're here, and I put slicks on it, and it looks stupid, but it's fun. It's fun, too hot, but fun.
We made it to the Duct Tape Drags. It was a really long drive. It felt like 4 hours from the meetup to the gas station, but it was only 2. It was pretty hard. I'm kind of surprised it made it all the way without blowing up, but here I am. I'm gonna go enter the Battle of the Beaters, and hopefully I don't break it on the drag strip.
I'm Dalton with Pole Barn Garage on YouTube, and we're here at Duct Tape Drags with the Sky Goat, and it's a 1967 Buick Skylark powered by a Pontiac 400 from a 68 GTO. The interior is out of a 69 GTO, and the whole thing is just a conglomeration of stuff I had laying around and then drove across country. And that's just the kind of thing that we do on my channel. You know, but we did the 1,500-mile journey here in this Sky Goat. We had a lot of vapor lock issues, we had a lot of overheating issues, but we made it, we persisted, and we're here. So last year, as you could see in Freiburger's video of Duct Tape Drags 2023, I was explicitly told my holy goat would never run on the track. So I brought a different car this year, and we passed Tech with flying colors. I'm pretty sure he was blind. Anyway, we passed Tech. We made a couple passes last night during the Grudge racing. It's pretty hot out today. I don't think I'm gonna do the Beaters Challenge because I still have to drive this car. And if I'm hot lapping it, I don't wanna hurt it because otherwise we'll be stranded. But we did pass Tech and we were able to make some passes and I'm happy with that. And that's all part of the experience here. It's really laid back, just a good time.
So it's a 67 Camaro 383 stroker, just tribute, you know, to Big Willie Robinson. He created a terminal island down in San Pedro. Just encourage everybody to go to a racetrack and stay off the streets. So our club is a Brotherhood of Street Racers. We encourage people to go to track and not street race. Yes, this is my 7th year at Duct Tape Drags. I drove my cars every time, raced them, and then drive back home. This is the first year I actually trailer my car. It's a race car, but just here having fun. Like HeyFreiburger says, don't get it right, just get it running. Get it so it motivates you enough to keep going. So it doesn't have to be shiny, perfect paint, you know. Shiny paint causes stress, you know, so just get it right little by little, get motivated and inspire other people as well. So yeah, just, you know, just it's a budget for everybody. There's people I know that they probably had enough money to buy their tickets and come over here and make a trip. So they're really, you know, they work with you and then just have fun. Doesn't matter what you have. They see cheap cars and to like most expensive cars. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I made it out from Irwindale with David and the group. I got behind a little bit because I had my exhaust fall off. I had a carburetor leak all over the place, and it was just overheating the whole way. Roll of duct tape made it, just barely, but we're still together. We're still together. I think this will actually be my first year that I'm going to try getting into the Battle of the Beaters. I've been 4 years so far and been a spectator, but I think this time I'll try it out this year.
I do a channel called Shade Tree Vintage Auto. Last year we had what we called the duct tape dart here, and had a lot of fun with it, but it was too rusty to bring back. So we took everything out of that car, put in this car, and now we're back hoping to have some fun. It's been fun so far, other than braking. But it's a 344 speed. However, I keep saying it's a 318, so I can hopefully get into Battle of the Beaters. And it is a real 340 swinger, but it's built how I wanted it. Trashy and covered with duct tape. I love that you can come down here to Duct Tape Drags and you're with other cars like this. You go to most events and they're all nice and shiny. Here, you never know what you're gonna see. Like, you know, there was a Jeep 4-wheel drive that I seen earlier, like an old CJ5. You would never see that at a drag strip anywhere else. And just, I don't know, I love the rattiness. I've embraced it. We actually brought 8 cars from northern Utah for this, so we drove straight 16 hours to get here. It's just a fun, awesome event. So one of the things I love about the kind of ratty culture is you can let it be a learning experience for other people that have never worked on these, and you as an owner, you're not worried if paint gets scratched from belt buckles or if they mess up when they're installing something. You just fix it, it's not a big deal. I'm really all about trying to spread it to the younger generations because they're the future of the whole hobby. And if nobody mentors them or helps them and lets them actually do hands-on work, the hobby's not going to last. And this is a great way to help get other people involved and teach them and all that good stuff. I'm hoping just to make it down the track without it blowing up, but I'd really like to get in Battle of the Beaters, just even if I go down once, just because it's fun. We went down last year with our Max wagon and got to go in Battle of the Beaters, and it was just a really good time in front of all the judges and people and Freiburger, everybody. It's just a lot of fun.
That's a wrap on the first part of Duct Tape Drags. In the next video on the David Freiburger channel, I'm going to go deep into the judging and the action at the Battle of the Beaters drag race for low-buck cars. And I'll be doing it with Steve Dulcich along with Tony Angelo from Stay Tuned on YouTube. You really need to be at the next Duct Tape Drags event, so get the news by following me on social media. I'm David Freiburger on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. On behalf of Derek from Vice Grip Garage and me, David Freiburger, thank you to all the participants and spectators who make Duct Tape Drags the most unique car show, drag race, and hangout in the gearhead world.